Hello, everyone. Great to be here with you. This is Dawn Marie Alexander Borsico, and I am the host of an Uncommon Voice Coaching and Consulting and the Process 319 Unleashed. And today we are doing what we are doing. Life is only a decision. And Uncommon Voice Coaching and Consulting is what we do. And so I hope everyone is having a great and wonderful day. But I want to talk to you about something today, and that's alignment. As each of us desires to be a business leader or to, be a better person or just live maybe more in peace or incongruent in being congruent to who we are, it's important that we walk in alignment. And sometimes we don't think about it. We think we are in alignment until maybe we hit a crisis or we begin to do some reflection on our own life and we're wondering like why, or maybe someone will say something to you. Maybe they'll say something that's maybe hurtful, or they'll call you a hypocrite, or they may just feel like you're not walking in who you really say that you are. And many times we don't know, we don't think about it because too often as people, we talk in jest a lot. Meaning, what do I mean by just? We say things like, "Oh, I'm so silly," or "That was I'm dumb sometimes," and we think it's okay, and it really isn't. It doesn't come off well, especially if one wants to be a leader or one wants to be looked to as someone in authority or fill in the blank. Well, the one thing that I've learned as a student of, general psychology and studying the areas of performance is mindset and walking in alignment. So I'm going to give a few examples today, but I want us to think about four things, maybe five, depending on what's important to you. And one of those things that if you've seen any of my other videos, that we all have to be grounded in something. Whether you are a person of faith like I am, or and you follow the Christian beliefs, or maybe you follow something else. At the end of the day, there's a grounding. Why do we need a grounding? Because we're all going to face tragedy, not tragedy, I hate to say it like that, but we're all going to face some days, some seasons in life where it's not great. It may not be the most perfect thing. Maybe there's a death in the family, maybe there's a financial crisis, maybe there's a loss of a loved one through divorce or something that goes on. And there needs to be something that grounds us to something true, that grounds us to something bigger or better than ourselves. For those of us who follow a faith in God, we know what that looks like. But even then, we can often falter or fall short of what we say we believe. And then with that, when we think about the kind of person that we desire to be in general, with our grounding of what grounds us, do we live it, or do we live it at a decent, I won't say a decent level, but at a level or a place where there's peace, where there's a congruence, an alignment, meaning that our mindset, our actions, aka behavior, the way we talk, what we say, dress, what we do, should all be in alignment to who we say that we are. Now, I know that many of us like to set goals, and in setting goals, we want to achieve a certain thing. But I was reading in the book Atomic Habits, many times there's a suggestion that we should set an identity, and even if we don't think of it in the what the author said of in the context of what they were saying in setting goals and habits so that you can live a more maybe just in the idea of, well, who do you want to be? We live in a society now where they're always telling us who we are, what we should look like, what we should be, how we should think. So if you don't idea of the identity that you want to live and that identity of which you need to own, what do we have? Somebody else is going to always tell you who you are, what you are. And if you don't have that, you have what we have in our society today, to follow in alignment. I'm going to tell you a little story about myself because I think that maybe it will help. And I really want to be transparent, and hopefully someone will be able to relate. So there was a season that, not in the this past, or I'm thinking, things don't, there's some things not right. And I felt that way because what I was feeling was not meant to who I said I was and to what I said I believed. I'm going to say that again, that what I was feeling was not in alignment to who I said I was and what I said to I believe. So if I believe, so think of it this way. If you believe that your mother, your sister, your brother, your good friend is going to answer your phone call every time that you call, then you're not going to be worried about it when you call. You just know they're going to see my number to answer, right? But if you didn't believe that, there would be a level that you would have in, oh, well, if I call, am I going to do it? In other words, you believe. So if you don't believe it, then you're going to feel fretful. But then why are you feeling fretful if you know, hey, if I call my sister, my brother, my best friend, I know they're going to answer. There's not going to be any fear there. There's not going to be rejection there, because you already know you have a firm foundation in what you believe. So therefore, you are in alignment. But if you began to say, oh, well, I don't know, and although I have the proof and the receipts that they've always been there, but I'm not, then wait a minute, we need to dial back. And we need to say, why are my feelings or my thoughts out of alignment with the truth that I say that I believe? And that's why alignment is important. And then we're going to talk about ownership. Too often nowadays, we want someone to co-sign and to validate who we are, but that makes us out of alignment. Because when others to do that, we're out of alignment of who we say that we are. We shouldn't need anyone else to validate us. Yes, it does feel good when somebody kind of co-signs on it and they celebrate you and you're like feeling good, like, okay, I got this right. But if they don't, it is our responsibility to be in alignment and to be congruent to who we say that we are. So I'm going to list a few things that should be in alignment with us. So our values, our faith, our actions or behavior, our speech, and our mindset. And should I also say maybe our exterior, how we dress, what we portray. Now, you can look any kind of way you want, and you can say that people should accept you anyway, but we're not. We only have, 10 seconds, they say, to make an impression on others, to be able to have them draw a conclusion. Now, sometimes we can say that that's not right, but we don't have that much time in certain situations to do that. So who you want to be, what needs to be presented out there. Now, you don't have to, but guess what? Then you need to own it. So you can't get upset when someone thinks something because of how you present certain things. And it's a way to keep us safe, because if we misrepresent or we misjudge something, then we could be in harm. How many people have trusted something because they did not make the right assessment? Now, I'm not saying that this is true all the time, so don't wig out on me, but hopefully you'll understand what I mean. When we're looking at responsible people, legitimate, trying to get over on anyone, but you want to present to others who you say that you are. And it should all be in alignment. Your mindset should be in alignment with who you say that you are, what you do, what you believe. So if you say, I am a person that is a reader, I am educated, then what are you doing? Are you reading? Do you read books? Have you set a goal on how many you're reading a day? Do you have a particular genre? Are you tapping into other genres? If you say that you're a person of faith, are you living as that? And we're all going to have doubts, and we're going to have situations where that faith is tested, or that honesty is tested, or that leadership is tested. What kind of leader do you want to be? and we need to back it forward. If you're going to be an authentic leader, that may mean you're taking hits that you might not take in other cases, because your goal is to be authentic before those that you are supervising or leading. And therefore, you're going to be the one that says, you know what, I'm going to authentically stand in for my people. I'm going to represent them and represent them well. If I'm a middle manager from the higher ups, I'm going to listen to their voices and I'm going to take their concerns to others. So when we're living in alignment, I'll give you another example. I was in a situation not long ago where I was just kind of feeling stressed. Well, I won't say kind of, I was. I was like, oh God, what's going on? I mean, how am I going to put these things together? What's happening? And I felt like, wait a minute. If I say that I believe God, which is what my foundation is, and I know that He provides peace, He says, my peace I give to you, my peace I leave with you. You know what I mean? He talks about providing, He talks about comfort, but yet I'm feeling stressed. And I'm like, well, why am I feeling stressed? This isn't alignment to what I say I believe. If I say that I believe something, I am a believer, then why am I allowing my emotions to be contrary to what I say that I believe? And when I began to look at that, I had to have a come to Jesus conversation with myself. And what did that mean? That meant I had to deal with some issues of trust. And those trusting issues were, you know what, God, I love you. But I'm like the centurion, I think it was, in the Bible that said to Jesus, I believe, but help my unbelief. Like, I believe you're the Christ. I believe you can do it. But right now, because of all the noise and the distractions going on all around me, I'm struggling to believe. I'm struggling to hold on. I'm struggling here. And when I realized that, I was able to say, you know what? We're going to change that. I believe. I'm going to stand on the truth, regardless of what my emotions say, regardless of the noise going on around me, and I'm going to step into alignment with what I say I believe. So now that my mindset is back in alignment with what I say that I'm there, now my actions need to do it. So now what would actions look like for a person who's resting in peace? And sometimes we have to do that in an act of faith. Maybe we just go out and we get a cup of coffee and we sit and we read a book, because we're not going to allow our situation to make us stressed out. So we're going to go do something that causes us to relax and to come back in alignment. Maybe you want a person that saves money. Maybe you want to be a person that loses to be. What is the goal that you want to achieve? And what do you need to do to get there? You know, one of my goals this year is to be fit and to be healthy. Well, guess what? That may mean I have to deal with my emotions so that I don't go binge on candy. I'm still working on it. And I have to go to the gym at least 4 days a week. That means when my mind and my body are saying one thing, I have to remember, a minute, I have to align my actions. I have to align my emotions to the person that I say that I want to be, so that those behaviors build on one step at a time, one step at a time. You're building those. That's what it means to step into alignment. When we're speaking things that are not in alignment with who we say that we are, we're an educated person, we're a professional person. But then are we speaking and using words that may not align with that? Or are we using the word of the day to increase our vocabulary? What are we doing? Because when we do that, we're going to be at peace, because we're walking in alignment to the person that we say that we want to be. We're in alignment to the person that we say that we want to be. What does that do for us? It gives us power. It gives us freedom, and it gives us strength. Why and how? Because we're no longer looking for outside distractions to make us who we are. We're no longer looking for outside validation to say who we are. And when I say distraction, we're not allowing ourselves to be distracted by the noise. And that's what we see today. We see a lot of people that have no identity. They're not grounded in anything at all except what society says. And society blows like the wind. What you have today, you may not have tomorrow. So it gives us that strength. It gives us power Power to go, you know what, I'm okay. Power to say, you know what, I'm reflecting on myself. I'm looking at me, looking at where I'm in alignment and out of alignment, where I've gotten out, where I need, or where I need to start from, and take responsibility for ourselves. It's nobody else's responsibility for your success, for your growth, for you to become the person that you want to be. That's why alignment is so important. When you look at people who are successful, they are in alignment because their behaviors align with who they say they want to be, the goal they say they want to achieve. If they were not in alignment, that they would do things outside and they would never stay on that path to get there. When you look at anyone that's successful, they're very tunnel vision to some degree. They have a goal, they're going to achieve it, and therefore anything that does not align with that goal, the wayside. They know who they want to achieve, and it gives them that power, and it gives them strength, and it gives them freedom. Don't you walk in power, strength, and freedom? Don't you want to walk where you're not bound by what other people think of you? Don't you want to walk in a situation, in a place where you are truly comfortable in who you say you are, because you're owning the good, the bad, and the ugly? Think about that. People aren't doing that because they're waiting for someone else to validate them. So let's close this out a little bit. So in those 5 areas, I think I mentioned your values, your faith, your behaviors or your actions, your speech, and your mindset. You may all look at those a little bit different, but all of those should fall into alignment. Your values should determine your speech. Your values are going to be based on your faith. Your actions and what you speak are all going to be in alignment with the person that you say that you want to be. And that's what motivates us as well. So I hope this encouraged you today. I am Dom-Marie Alexander Borsico, an uncommon voice of an uncommon voice coaching and consulting. And on the faith-based side, we do have the Process 319 Unleashed with Dom-Marie. The Process with Unleashed with Dom-Marie. And you can find that on YouTube as well. So I hope you guys are having a great and wonderful day. I hope that this encouraged you to walk in power, strength, and freedom. And I look forward to seeing you the next time next week. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.